So, this is a little old, but a lot of people wanted me to talk about it anyway. So, I figure I would go ahead and talk about the cartoon base Q&A that happened fairly recently with the creator of Ben 10. In fact, his Twitter is even linked here. Duncan Rouleau, if I said that correctly, but he's part of Man of Action, which you know is the subtitle that pops up in every episode. So he did one, and they released a lot of interesting topics and things that they wanted to talk about. So I figured we can go ahead and jump into those and discuss them a little bit. So, creator Duncan Rouleau wants a revival. That's the first part, which apparently this blew up. I guess we'll find it in a minute, but that blew up to the point where I want to say it got 10,000 mentions or retweets or something. It got trending on X. Ben 10 creator says Ben 10,000 special or series would be epic. Okay. I've always thought Ben 10,000 was awesome. I always thought he was. I mean, why would he not be awesome? First of all, his name is awesome. His name is just Ben 10 times 1,000, right? So he's literally 1,000 times what Ben is. He's got access to 10,000 aliens. This is the farthest in the future Ben 10 that we've ever seen, to my knowledge. I'm not super caught up on Ben 10 as of current. But this would be awesome. I would love to see a Ben 10,000 special or show. Because can you imagine? This would be Ben 10,000 in like a serious fight. Who knows what kind of aliens he's got access to at this point? Like we could be seeing like Superman level fighting or power here, or maybe even Dragon Ball Z level, right? Who knows? But either way, it would be awesome. I don't know if I would I don't know how many stories you could tell with a series with this. But then again, you could. I would at least like to see a special. I think that would be super cool. Ben 10,000 is awesome. He's only been in a couple episodes. They've revisited him a few times. I still remember his debut episode. I thought that was super cool. Such a great episode. But I think they've revisited him a few times since then. Interested in making a theatrical animated Ben 10 film. This is something we've been exploring for some time. Unfortunately, timing, will, and finance have yet to align. So a theatrical animated Ben 10 film. This is something I also have been like, I don't understand why that hasn't happened. But also, alternatively, theatrically released Cartoon Network films haven't been very successful. And the last one they ever attempted was Powerpuff Girls, the movie, to my knowledge. I believe it was Powerpuff Girls the movie. And ever since that one bombed, they never wanted to try again, which is so unfortunate. It really, really is. I mean, come on. Ben 10, if you really think about it, look at how many toys Ben 10 has sold. Between Powerpuff Girls, the only other show, to my understanding, that's a Cartoon Network property, that has sold as much merchandise as Powerpuff Girls, if not more, and probably more, is Ben 10. Ben 10 is a show that is so popular. An animated theatrical film is a no-brainer. Come on, it's a no-brainer, and it needs to happen. So hopefully it really, really will. Really hope that happens. This is just a retweet of the same thing. Here we go. Creator says an adult animated Ben 10 series is a possibility. Really? That is always on the table, and as the fan base grows older, still watches animation, it becomes a real possibility. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if that's necessary. I don't know if that's necessary, because here's the thing, is Ben 10 proved with Alien Force and Ultimate Alien that you can tell adult stories in a kid format, or in a format that is that you can write in a good and interesting way to make it appeal to all audiences. I don't know Like, what would you put into an adult animated Ben 10 show that you couldn't put into a cartoon? Like a sex scene? Like, does anybody really want that? Does anybody really want that in Ben 10? No. What else? Like crazy violence? Sure, but I mean, like, is anybody interested in that? Does anybody really want to see Ben 10 get into a fight and like Ben gets his arm ripped off or something? Like, is that something that's really exciting? I'm trying to think of what could you really, do you really want to see Ben 10 like curse? Is that necessary? You know what I mean? Like, there's so much about this where it's like, what is what is really necessary about that? I don't understand. I think you're able to make something for all audiences and still have the show have very serious things in it, very almost adult things in it. Very let's cut it. Very adult things in it, right? You can have adult themes but make it for all audiences. That is a possibility. And Ben 10 Alien Force and Alternate Alien did a lot of those things. You know, because Ben gets older in Alien Force, and he gets a girlfriend, and he starts dating, and Gwen starts dating Kevin. Like they have adult themes and adult things going on in there too, and I don't think it's necessary, and that's just me being honest. Creator on the franchise's evolution and what could have been done differently. Each iteration has its positives and things that could have been done better. We don't really look back too much, rather where we can go next. That's fair. That's very, very fair. It's a great way to look at things, because here's the thing: is if you look back all the time, you're just gonna get overly critical. You're just gonna. I agree with him. Just start looking forward and say, okay, this didn't work. All right, that didn't work. Maybe this could have been better. Okay, when we get to the next show, now we know what to do. Oh yes, here we go. Ben 10 creator wanted to create an MCU type universe for Cartoon Network. Generator Rex was one of those characters. Unfortunately, it was too big of an idea for the network. Ben has shown up in other shows, but the problem with those types of crossovers is the audience expectations for their favorite characters are not always met. The problem with those types of crossovers, audience expectations. Okay, okay. I understand this part. The part I don't understand is this. Cartoon Network, man. Cartoon Network. What do you mean? Cartoon Network, what are you even talking about? Too big of an idea? Really? Too big of an idea. Just having Generator Rex and Secret Saturdays and OKKO and Steven Universe be in the same universe. What's wrong with that? It's not like you haven't done it 1,000 times with other shows. I mean, for crying out loud, look at Cartoon Network City. All of those are existing in the same universe. Was that too big of an idea? Was CN City too big of an idea? Was that really too big of an idea for you? What about Cartoon Network Invaded? The entire event where it was a month long of this alien that's going in between all of the different shows, insinuating that they all take place in the same universe. Was that too big of an idea for you? Like, dude, I really hate when Cartoon Network does this. I really hate when Cartoon Network does this. When they cherry pick, right? Like, what are you even saying? What are you even talking about? Crossover Nexus. Crossover Nexus was a thing. Do you forget that? I hate when they do this. I hate when they will do a thing like Cartoon Network City or Crossover Nexus or Cartoon Network Invaded, and then when someone else is like, "Hey, I want to do this crossover," and Cartoon Network's like, "I think that's too big of an idea." Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're doing it. Like, I'm literally watching you, pen in hand, signing off on all of these shows that are doing crossovers, and then you're looking at me, at creator of Ben 10, being like, "Ooh, sorry, it's just too big of an idea, sorry." Anyways, what's that? Yeah, crossover with all of the cartoons on our show. Yeah, great idea. Let me sign right here, right? Yeah, I'll sign right here. What are you even saying? What are you even talking about? This is so stupid. It's so dumb. Doesn't even make any sense. This is cool. Dynamite. Dynamite has been killing it recently with a lot of Cartoon Network comics. A creator reveals that they'll be looking to turn up the danger and situations in the upcoming comic, and it looks to be a OG Ben 10, which that's exciting. That's really, really, really exciting, actually. Love to see OG Ben 10 getting love, and to see that it's going to be some more dangerous stuff. Creator says a live-action Ben 10 project is always being pursued. We are always pursuing a live-action option, but at the moment, nothing to report. Yeah, and I've known that. I believe I read somewhere years ago, and I could be completely wrong, but I believe I read somewhere years ago something similar to this, that they've always wanted to pursue live-action options, and they've always been interested in pursuing live-action options. I don't know. I've never understood that. I thought Ben 10 as a cartoon was cool. And I thought it didn't need live action. In fact, I know it doesn't need live action. I don't understand it. I just don't. Come on. Like the first movie was whack. The second movie was all right. I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless the creator always wanted Ben 10 to be a live action property. I don't know. I think because he wants to do, he's talking about MCU type stuff here, he needs to do better on or whoever's doing the casting, they need to do better on casting. I thought this kid was okay as Ben, but like you need somebody who's like Ben. You know what I mean? Kind of like how I'm trying to think of like a character. What's a comic book character that's cast as a character, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the character. Like, oh yeah, can't get any better than that. Like that's them. You need that for Ben. Everyone who's been cast as Ben has been kind of like, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I guess he looks like him. Yeah, I guess he could play the part. You need somebody who looks like, whoa, that looks just like him. Like, look, see what I'm talking about? Like, enough with the cosplay. Enough with that's just me. That's just my opinion. Enough with the cosplay. Let's get down and dirty and get a real casting in there. Then we'll talk. But I think Ben 10 works phenomenally well as a cartoon. Because I also don't think we're there technology. I mean, we're there technology-wise for a Ben 10 movie, but the amount of money you'd have to shovel into it would be like MCU level to make it really, really good. And is that going to happen? Absolutely not. It's a Ben 10 movie. So because they're not willing to put that kind of money into it, a Ben 10 live-action movie is never going to look good. I mean, just look at the two we got. Right, they were okay, but I mean, if you're not willing to put in like 180 million or whatever into a Ben 10 movie, it's just not going to look good, and that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But hey, that's a retweet. Okay. Creator thinks that Ben 10 can return with enough fan support. It is a character that is due for another show. Please keep up enthusiasm. We will do everything we can to make it happen. Yeah, and I don't know why there's not another Ben 10. I mean, Ben 10 is just obscenely popular. It's an obscenely popular show. It's always been popular. It's about a kid. It's about a kid turned adult, turned back into kid again, depending on whatever iteration you want to go by. Who has a wristwatch that can turn him into multiple different aliens as he fights crime. It's literally a show that was made to make toys and to be a cartoon on TV. There needs to always be a Ben 10 iteration. The same reason why Scooby-Doo has always got an iteration, Ben 10 I think needs to be the same way. Honestly, there's just no reason for it. Has reaffirmed that there was once an attempt at making connecting universe with Ben 10 and Generator Rex. This fits with prior statements by Jay Stevens, who also mentioned the Secret Saturdays and Semi-Automatic Titan. Semi-Automatic Titan, that I did not know about. But we've known that they exist in the universe because, I mean, look at these images. Like we've known that they've crossed over before, right? So we know that they exist in the same universe to some degree, even if it's an alternate universe. Still cool to know. Generator X, by the way, anybody who hasn't seen it, because I know Ben 10 is very popular, anyone who hasn't seen Generator X, or Secret Saturdays, or Symbiotic Time for that matter, great shows. Though Generator Rex specifically is very underrated. It came out during a time on Cartoon Network where a lot wasn't being shown at the time, or a lot of people weren't watching at the time. It came out the same time. You guys remember that Cartoon Network original movie Fire Breather? It came out around the same time as that, and just a lot of people weren't watching at the time. CB exclusive creator hopes revival is possible once things settle at Cartoon Network. Now this is an interesting comment here. We're hoping with the CN shakeup settling a little, there is a possibility. Unfortunately, nothing to report at the moment. What does he talk? See, I think there's more going on behind closed doors at Cartoon Network than they're letting on. I don't really know. I didn't really know there was a real shakeup going on. I knew there was stuff. That was happening at the network. I know there's a lot of drama, good stuff going on, but I didn't really know that there was necessarily a shakeup. So I'm curious what the details on all that is. Very, very curious. But yeah, would love to see a revival of Ben 10. Absolutely. Just like I said here, there needs to always be a Ben 10 show on TV. I think you're losing money if that's not the case. Simple yes or no to prove a point. Would you watch Ben 10 revival on Cartoon Network? Yeah, absolutely. Revealed Man of Action has been exploring a theatrical animated Ben 10 for some time. Ben 10 film for some time. Unfortunately, timing will and finance have yet to align. We already talked about that a little bit. Buy the comic, keep talking about the show. Let them know we want Ben 10 back. Cartoon shared universe that got canceled. Are these? Is there any more news? Are these all just retweets? Get them out of bankruptcy. Oh, like a Ben 10 Spider-Verse. Is that Ben 10,000? Yeah, see, look, they do bring back Ben 10,000 quite a couple of times. And they keep bringing back Gwen 10. That's cool, too. But I've just noticed that they whenever Ben 10 doesn't really know what to do with, like, a plot line, they'll always bring back... Because they've brought back Gwen 10 and Ben 10,000, like, a lot of times. And, like, it's a cool, like, fan thing, but, like, after a while, it's like, all right. Yeah, here we go. I knew there was more. Ben 10 creator personally wants to explore more stories with Charmcaster, and I agree, but I'm going to get into this quote here in a second. Oof, so many, unable to pick one, but certain characters and their stories are definitely something we'd love to explore. I think anything with Charmcaster's personal favorite. I loved Charmcaster's episodes. I thought the episodes of Charmcaster, especially in the original show, were so cool. Especially how when Gwen started to learn her magic powers and they kind of got to have that fight off with magic, I thought that was super awesome. Would love to see more with Charmcaster. Absolutely. What Ben 10 continuation would you like to see? Ben 10,000 special, Ben 10 reboot continuity, Ben 10 adult animated series, Ben 10 theatrical animated film. Personally, you guys can answer this question in the comments down below. Personally, 10,000 special would be sick. But a theatrical animated film would also... But again, dude, if they're not going to put in the money for it, and that's not at all the fault of the creators. It's entirely on Cartoon Network or Warner Brothers. It's not even worth it because it's just not. Now this I wanted to see. I saw this earlier. I didn't read the quote yet, but I saw this image. I'm like, this is awesome. Ben 10 creator reveals the original rejected concept for the series. The original idea was Ben using the Omnitrix to switch places with alternate versions of himself from other realities. All right. That's a really cool idea. Benjamin Blood, a vampire Ben from a vampire Earth, and Amphiba Ben, a Ben from an Earth where polar ice caps melted, etc. They thought it was too trippy. They were right. I agree. I think that like again, an interesting idea. Ben looks kind of cool here. But they switch places. Why would he want to switch places? Like, why would he want to be just like a normal boy, going to school? And it's like, man, I wish I was like fighting an intergalactic alien right now. Like, what? No, like, why would he want to switch places? Well, the art you have there was for the superhero version. Oh, the superhero version. So this is not it either. But either way, I don't know. I'm glad. I think the one he went with is a much better idea. Much, much better idea, personally. See, this is the tweet I was talking about. Ben 10 is now trending with over 8.5 thousand posts. That's over 1,800 posts in the last 2 hours. Yeah, Ben 10 is popular, man. Creator on potential character spinoffs. We have explored and developed some of these concepts. Several had a lot to offer the greater Ben 10 universe, and perhaps those will still get a chance. This is Gwen, right? With her magical power? Yeah, this is Gwen. The Omniverse design still, it's hard for me to tell. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love this. I think that'd be cool. Great idea. Here we go. He's previously mentioned multiple attempts at a Gwen Lucky Girl spinoff. Yeah, this would be awesome. When she became Lucky Girl, I always thought there was going to be more to come from it. She rarely she rarely turns into Lucky Girl. It rarely happens. Oh, here's the full thing here. What time is it? 21 minutes? Okay, hold on. I'll go over this real quick. We saw this. Been crossover with superhero animated series. Our goal is to create an MCU type generate one of those characters which became 2A, which is so dumb. Is this the full quote? Unfortunately, too big. Ben has showed up on other shows, but the problem with those types of crossovers is the audience expectation. Yeah, compromises are often made so one character doesn't outshine the other, and so power levels, problem-solving skills, and other character attributes get softened so both characters get equal treatment. I get that, and I think a lot of that's fair, to be honest. With all the Ben 10 reboots over the years, how do you feel about the evolution of the franchises? Okay, we went over that. Just want to make sure we tackled everything that's always on the table. We just read this one. Live action, nothing on the horizon. Live action Ben 10 series. Okay, we didn't read this one. Live action Ben 10 series. It feels inevitable, but at the moment, nothing on the horizon. Could be cool. I don't know. We'll see. Only after some time. Yeah, okay, we already read that. Given the opportunity to create a Ben 10,000 special series, what would it look like? It would be epic. I agree. Ben 10 can return in some form with enough fan support. Yeah, okay, we already read that. Okay. With Man of Action being less involved with Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, and Omnivorse than y'all were with the original series and the reboot, what was it like to see your creation passed into new hands? Coming from comics, is that something you were already used to? Definitely. Anything that has a long life has a lot of collaborators. All the iterations, all the star-spanning stories are the product of a long line of talented people. We've been lucky to have worked with some of the best, most amazing writers and artists in the animation business. Ben 10 Protector. Ben 10 Omniverse was supposed to have a 9th and 10th season, but it was canceled many years ago. So many shows are being revived nowadays, like Regular Show and Phineas and Ferb. Would you like the idea of Ben 10 Omniverse was revived for a 9th and 10th season on Adult Swim, targeting mature audiences? We definitely love to explore Ben stories at different ages, one that are more mature, others that lean into different genres, as far as revisiting one specific show iteration that most likely isn't on the cards. Okay. What's an episode you think deserves a follow-up? Oof, so many, unable to pick one. Okay, yeah, Charmcaster, we already got that. Are the rights being shot again for a live-action Ben 10? Always pursuing a live-action option, we already read that. Is a revival of Ben 10 possible? It's Cartoon Network Shake-Up, we already read that. Are you surprised that Ben 10 still has an active and growing following to this day? Surprised? No. Thankful? Yes. I think the creators and stories that influenced me... I think of the creators... I'm sorry. I'm like out of it tonight, a little bit. Surprised? No. Thankful? Yes. I think of the creators, the characters, and stories that influenced me, and am deeply thankful and humble to contribute to that continuum in my own small way. Okay. I think that's all of what has been talked about here. Thank you for participating in the Ben 10 Q&A. Yep. Yep. That is it. Guys, what did you think of the creator interview with Duncan Rouleau? I'm so sorry about the name pronunciation. But what did you guys think? Like I said, I gave him a lot of my thoughts. I thought this was a great interview. Hopefully Ben 10 comes back in some way, shape, or form. Leave your comments down in the description box down below. Let me know what you guys thought. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much to Matt Ponton, Advanced Hell, Ryan Wilkins, and Kame Senning for all becoming members.
If you would also like to become a member, on my channel there exists multiple different tier levels, and you can pick out which one is best for you.